Welcome back, guys. Aaron here. Today is going to be a quick COD commentary on the map Overlord using the AK-12 with grip and suppressor. Just going to be really a commentary about why I think COD is kind of going downhill, and is it dying, and does it realize within itself that it is? So COD came out in 2007, like COD 4, the first ever COD, and that was well, the first ever COD that really hit it big time, and everybody loved the game. It was just a fun game that you could come home, from school, come from work, and whatever, and just play. Nobody was really in the try-hard mode at that time in 2007. Like, you would play for fun more than you would play for great score or whatnot. So, and then as it progressed, it became more competitive. It became bigger. Like, a competitive scene started. And then we get to where we are today with microtransactions and things like gun packs and stuff. Now, I have a problem with gun packs because I feel like it turns it into a pay-to-win game. Like, eventually, one of the gun packs they released, the gun was going to be the best gun on the game. And I think we've hit that sooner than probably expected. I believe the Maverick is the best gun in COD Ghosts, and it just kind of gets that feel of a pay-to-win. Like, I don't mind it on a Black Light Retribution for point's sake, like, because that's a smaller game developed by smaller studios that probably need them, not necessarily need the money, but it's a from the start it was laid out as you pay, you own better material, and you have the pay to win. And also the fact that the pay to win material for COD is normally outside of the bonus editions or whatever it's called that you buy. Normally it's an add-on, and it's done in very small things as well. Like, here, it's £2 for the Maverick, it's £2 for a Captain Price skin, and it just feels like they're trying to milk their consumers for what they have. Now, honestly, I believe this might be because within themselves they probably are aware of the kind of downhill trend that COD has taken, and that despite the fact that the sales numbers go up every year, I can't prove this, believe that people buy it because it's a COD rather than they're expecting a great game. And I think when people say, oh, COD 4 was the best, and people's comeback is, oh, but if they released it today, it wouldn't stand up and it wouldn't be as good. I think that's probably true, but I think the thing that people remember is that that's back when COD was fun. You can't really hop on COD anymore and expect necessarily fun. Like, you run into people that are try-harding or whatnot. And I feel like this game specifically has been the drastic drop. I believe, honestly, the maps are too big. But for the maps as big as they are, the spawns aren't very good. So it leads to more of a kind of camping philosophy, because you could spawn over the complete other side of the map and have to run for a good minute or two before you see anybody again. So therefore, when people spawn, they're less likely to move, or they're going to find a space at which they can sit, because they don't want to have to die and then run and look for 2 minutes, or necessarily spawn and there's a guy that spawned right behind them and can kill them. I feel like COD is on a downward trend, and they know they're on a downward trend, and they are trying to at the last minute just milk that little bit extra money out of the consumers by the little microtransactions that people don't really consider. They're like, oh, it's only £2 here and there. It makes no difference. But eventually those things add up, and it's going to be a problem. I think with the release of games like Titanfall and Battlefield's kind of growing, I feel like for so long they've been untouchable at the top of the tree, and I feel like maybe they realise that that's not necessarily how it's going to be anymore. And don't get me wrong, it can still be an enjoyable game, but for it to be an enjoyable game now, you have to go out and you have to get yourself a good headset. You have to pay very close attention, whereas before you could. It's less. I feel like it's probably less of a social event now as well. Like in COD 4, you would quite often see people running around in parties and stuff. Like, it's more of a stats-driven game now, it's kind of what it is. It manages to push itself towards the better players. Well, it manages to kind of push itself towards that, but while pushing itself towards the better players, I feel like across the games it's probably narrowed the skill gap, because if you went into COD 4 and you were better than somebody, you were better than a whole team, you would win gunfights 9 times out of 10. Probably, like, because you were better than them. If you go into COD Ghost and you're better than someone, you'll maybe win it 5-6 times out of 10. It's as a way that they realised that if you're not the greatest player at this game, that you don't last the whole year, that you go, no, I'm bored of getting absolutely crapped on, I don't see the point, and I'm not having fun with this, so therefore they narrowed the skill gap so to give the slightly worse players an opportunity to kill them, which I don't really think should be the way it should be. Like, if you're not very good at the game, you need to learn to get better, and it's not just COD that's narrowing the skill gap. Games like FIFA do it as well. And I feel like we're heading towards a point where games become less about skill and more about numbers on them. Which, of course, it doesn't make sense for a company to have very few people on their game because it's a very skilled game. They'd rather attract the players that will play. But it leaves the players that are good at the game looking for something else, looking to get onto the start of another series that is at the point of starting and making it completely fair, like COD 4 was. Like, if you were better, you would win. I play on PS4, so I have no way of playing Titanfall, so I don't believe that will be the COD killer. But I don't think we're very far away from being a COD killer, from finding a COD killer, and I think, to be honest, I think the community knows that there's a kind of growing unrest at the quality of COD games, and I think the developers know it. I think right now the developers know it. That's why you've seen the microtransactions, and honestly, people will still go out and buy the next COD, regardless of what the next COD is. People will still go out and buy it, but I'm not sure where the end is. I feel like it could be coming. Please let me know if you agree, disagree, whatever you have to say. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, links in the description, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.